What made it a super tornado? While the term super tornado isn't an official meteorological classification, scientists and media used it to describe the unprecedented power and scale of this tornado outbreak. Typically, tornadoes are classified on the enhanced Fujita (EF) scale, ranging from EF0, weakest, to EF5, strongest. The 2024 super tornado reached the upper limits of EF5 intensity, with estimated wind speeds exceeding 320 miles per hour, 515 kilometers per hour, among the fastest winds ever recorded on Earth. But what truly made it super wasn't just the wind speed, it was the size, duration, and destruction. The funnel was nearly 2 miles wide at its peak. It remained on the ground for over 100 miles, 160 kilometers, much longer than most tornadoes. It spawned multiple satellite vortices, smaller tornadoes rotating around the main one. The storm system produced a series of violent twisters across multiple states within hours. This combination of intensity and longevity made the 2024 tornado one of the most extreme ever observed. When and where it happened. The super tornado of 2024 struck on April 27, 2024, during what was already a volatile spring storm season across the central United States. The tornado first touched down near Sulphur, Oklahoma, before tearing northeast across parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas. The destruction path stretched for hundreds of miles. Communities in the direct path, including Ada, McAllister, and Fayetteville, faced catastrophic damage. Entire neighborhoods were flattened. Cars were tossed like toys. Trees were stripped of their bark. Meteorologists compared its impact to other legendary storms, like the 2011 Joplin tornado or the 1925 Tri-State tornado, but with even more extreme wind speeds and radar signatures. The science behind the storm. So, what caused this monster tornado to form? The 2024 event was the product of perfect storm conditions, a combination of atmospheric instability, warm moist air, and powerful wind shear. A. Extreme instability. A surge of warm, humid air from the Gulf of Mexico collided with unusually cold, dry air from the Rocky Mountains. This created a massive clash of air masses over the southern plains. B. Strong jet stream. A powerful jet stream above the region provided strong upper-level winds that helped create vertical rotation within the storm system. C. Supercell formation. These conditions produced a massive supercell thunderstorm, the kind of rotating storm that's most likely to spawn large, violent tornadoes. Radar images showed a hook echo, a signature of intense rotation, hours before the tornado touched down. D. Atmospheric stacking. Meteorologists noticed something rare. Multiple layers of wind shear aligned perfectly from ground level up to 30,000 feet. This stacked rotation allowed the tornado to stay strong and stable for an unusually long time. All these factors combined to produce a self-sustaining tornado, one that fed on its own momentum and refused to dissipate. What the damage looked like. When the skies finally cleared, the devastation was almost unimaginable. Entire neighborhoods looked as if they had been erased from the map. A. Structural destruction. Concrete foundations were scoured clean. Even steel-reinforced buildings were destroyed. Transmission towers and power lines were snapped in half. Asphalt was peeled from roads in several areas. B. Human impact. More than 250 people lost their lives, and thousands were injured. Tens of thousands were left homeless. Emergency services struggled to access communities where roads were blocked and communication towers destroyed. C. Environmental damage. The storm flattened forests, scattered debris across farmland, and disrupted local ecosystems. Livestock losses were severe, and contaminated water supplies became an immediate concern. Satellite images taken afterward showed a wide scar across the land, a visible reminder of nature's power. Technology and early warnings. Despite the immense destruction, advances in meteorology saved countless lives. The National Weather Service, NWS, issued a tornado emergency nearly 30 minutes before the storm hit major populated areas, one of the earliest large-scale warnings ever given for a tornado of this magnitude. Radar and AI prediction. New Doppler radar systems, combined with AI-based storm prediction models, detected the storm's rotation pattern earlier than usual. Meteorologists observed clear tornado debris signatures, radar reflections showing airborne wreckage, confirming the tornado's formation in real time. Public alerts. Cell phone alerts, emergency sirens, and social media updates helped many people reach shelters in time. Still, the storm's sheer power meant even well-built homes and storm shelters suffered severe damage. This event became a key case study for AI-assisted weather forecasting and disaster response coordination. Eyewitness accounts. Survivors described scenes of chaos, fear, and resilience. One resident from McAllister said, "The sky turned green, and the wind sounded like a freight train coming straight at us. The ground was shaking before it even arrived." Another survivor recalled, "It wasn't just one tornado. It was like the sky was alive. You could see smaller funnels swirling around the main one." Stories of heroism emerged too, neighbors helping each other from collapsed homes, emergency crews working around the clock, and volunteers traveling from neighboring states to deliver supplies. In the midst of tragedy, communities came together in an extraordinary display of human spirit. Comparison to past tornadoes. Meteorologists quickly compared the 2024 super tornado to past historical disasters. 1925 Tri-State tornado, the longest-lasting and deadliest in U.S. history, 695 deaths. The 2024 tornado was similar in path length but even more intense in wind speed. 2011 Joplin tornado caused 158 deaths and severe urban destruction. The 2024 event had a broader impact area and more advanced warning systems. 1999 Bridge Creek Moore tornado recorded the fastest wind speed ever measured, over 300 miles per hour. The 2024 tornado possibly surpassed that record, though instruments were destroyed before final readings could be confirmed. Aftermath and recovery. Rebuilding after the super tornado of 2024 became one of the largest disaster recovery efforts in U.S. history. Immediate response. Federal and state agencies, including FEMA and the Red Cross, mobilized within hours. Search and rescue teams worked around the clock for days to locate survivors trapped under debris. Long-term rebuilding. Billions of dollars in aid and insurance funding were allocated for reconstruction. New housing codes were introduced to require stronger storm-resistant structures in tornado-prone regions. Community support. Volunteers from all over the country arrived to provide food, water, and medical supplies. Temporary shelters housed families for months as rebuilding continued.